Good morning.
Good morning, Deborah LeeAnn.
Suzanne, Joy, let's tune in, shall we?
Yes.
So this week we're tuning in to Gene Key 7. And this beautiful global key, as Richard calls it, has to do with the shadow of division, moving into the beautiful Siddhic state of virtue, which is going to be fun to talk about because I'm having a problem defining that. And it's the pathway of guidance. Um, and I want to speak to these terms. I know we've talked about the keys for the last 3 years or so and longer between just the two of us. And there's a different version of this wisdom coming through me right now, and I'm sure through all of us, um, with um, the larger presence of the divine feminine or Christ consciousness or integral um, beingness that we are uh, moving into. And, we're all on the path, just in maybe different spaces. Um, what I would like to play with is I want to start with the shadow of division and how that feels. Because I feel like if we can start, for me anyway, the best way for me to learn to change something or to shift from something is becoming aware of what that shadow feels like in my body.
Okay.
You okay with that?
I'm also, for some reason, I want to just for a moment talk about its programming partner, which
Mm.
is 13th. And the shadow of the 13th is discord. So division and discord have that play together.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so yeah, why don't we just embrace the um, the feeling of division and discord for a moment?
Up, drop in. Yeah. So, so do you want to go first?
What I want to share from my heart is that it all begins within us. So any kind of division or discord, it's not out there, people. It's within me. It's within us. And so, can we sit with where in my life have I experienced, or am I experiencing, discord or division within myself? And really have reverence for and compassion for those times, those places, those spaces in which we feel they need to be different.
Or we want others to be different?
Right? Because it's something is being reflected within us.
Yeah. The fact that we want them to be different is ours.
Right.
And I feel like discord and division show up when we want people to be different, we want things to be different, when we want ourselves to be different, when we're not happy with the way things are because we're in conflict with what is, which is simple and easy and beautiful. May not feel like that at times. So when I'm not in flow with what is, my body tells me through having problems digesting, through shallow breathing, through I'll notice my forehead gets scrunched up or my jaw gets tight. So I'm noticing my shoulders do this. I'll be cooking. And I'm like, well, there is no reason for you to be out of sync with this moment. So our bodies are beautiful barometers for us if we pay attention. So for me, like this is an interesting topic because I just had this conversation with a dear friend, former partner, who knows where we're going, person yesterday, about how we need disagreement because it bounces up against parts of us that maybe we want to change or the other person wants to change or those that type of relationship where we're not like really rough, this is the way it's got to be and you have to change or else, but this kind of soft, like water wearing down those rough edges. When we're in relationship, we have that um, enough friction that we get to be more of ourselves. Like we wear down our defenses, we wear down our fears of showing up in relationship. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because what I found that when you have that friction, it's if you can look at it, that's the thing. Are you unconsciously or consciously looking at it? If we consciously look at it, then we can see it for what it is. And then it brings us back into our wholeness.
Yeah. And we can also be grateful, like, wow, thanks. I wasn't aware I was walking into that same wall over and over and over again till finally you came and you stood there. And when I bumped into you, I was like, oh, this is a soft landing. And it teaches me that boundary. This was a big thing for me when I listened to the audio transmission. Thank you, Richard, for the way he teaches this in so many different ways. But he talks about the importance of boundaries. And this is where division, I think, comes in, which is plays with discord as well. But division is where we see things as separate versus allowing seeing, like you just said, like the wholeness, like coming back into, oh, well, that's another part of me. Yes, that's an old part that's healing, that feels afraid when I reveal too much, like you're going to hurt me or violate me or whatever, right? That's my old thing. And I can walk with that now and have compassion for that right now. Um, and sometimes we need relationship. We were talking about this, how easy it is for us to drop in and be these amazing, connected to all the realms beings and doing all of our really cool things in nature. And then we walk into a room with somebody's energy and we're like, whoa. And, and so relationships are a beautiful training ground for us if we look at it that way.
Right.
And obviously, if it's abuse and chronic, it's not
Sure.
stay. I don't mean that.
Well, and if I could just pause for a second and look at this is also Leo energy, right? This is the astrology of it is. And in this sphere, it's the conscious or the courageous creator. In the shadow of it, it's all about conformity. Like you're conforming and like that you're like dividing yourself because you're not accepting fully who you are. But through the gift of it, you have the courage, the courageous lion that comes out. And so it's like a self, and that's where I think of the gift of it is the guidance, your own inner guidance, your own inner light, our own inner light, my own inner light. And that's where discernment, that's the programming partner with it, is discernment and guidance. Because then you can see very clearly through your own lens
Yeah.
when something is in alignment and when it's not.
So, my question for you, I'm going to bring it back to embodiment.
Mm-hmm.
How, for me, it would be the breath. because as
Hmm.
I consciously breathe,
Right.
I'm like, okay, there I am. There's flow then for wisdom to come in, intuitive hits to come through. And what I love about this is I used to think guidance was something we did for others. And and he said in there again, I heard this morning. I've only listened to these things how many years in the last 10 years? Um, about the guidance of not guiding.
Hmm. You're just,
Like I'm
you're,
not supposed to be a school guard out there with the sign going, stop, go. You know, it's not that.
I think of, when I think of guidance now, I think of our own inner GPS. I call it the God positioning system.
Yeah,
It's
beautiful.
our own, yeah. That's where the discernment comes in. That's when you know, go left, go right.
Yeah. And we have to, I have to slow down. Um, a lot of my clients remember, especially when I was in the training room in front of a lot of people, there were moments where I would pause, put my hand on my chest and my hand on my belly, and drop in before I could move forward because I wasn't sure where to go, feeling into what was going on in the room. And and interestingly, now when I do that, I I see other people drop in, put their hand on their heart, their hand on their belly, and go, okay, what's up with me?
Right.
I mean, it's one thing I'm modeling, yes, because I'm doing it for me. And that radiates out so that others find their own ways to drop in and be self-guided. So I laugh. I used to call myself a leadership guide, and I laugh now because I'm going. I don't think it was my role to be their guide as much as I was there to support them in opening up their inner guidance system. So
Yeah. And I think of leadership or guidance, it's a lot of listening. It's a lot of listening.
and I know for me, when I hear myself talking and when I hear myself talking quickly, that's not, and when I'm leaning forward, none of that is my feminine energy, right? Which is receptive, leaning back, listening, even when there's no words being said. It's like, what is the energy?
Can we just sit in silence and just be in each other's energy?
Yeah. And he talks about in the field,
Yeah.
right? So, what a beautiful way to think about guidance. And what would it be like if our parents, or we as parents, or grandparents, or aunties, or whatever, were that pillar of
Mm,
radiating our own self guidance? What would that be like for our young people to see
yeah.
a model of that? Wow. So, ready to dive into virtue?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to teach the virtue mudra now because I
Okay.
think the analogy of it or the symbolism of it is so beautiful.
Okay.
Um, it's like angel wings.
Hmm.
So, for those of us that are listening and not watching, you take your right palm and you place it on your chest, thumb up, fingers sideways. And you take your other palm, your left, and you place it across your chest on the other side. So your thumbs are back to back and your fingers are kind of almost going from arm to arm across your chest.
Mhm.
So they look like angel wings. And your thumbs are like the angel body, if there is a body to an angel. So this is a way of uncrossing my legs, thank you, of dropping into the angelic space of virtue. So,
Mm. And I'm just going to balance that with the programming partner, which is all about empathy.
Oh, beautiful.
So virtue and empathy working hand in hand. Not
Literal,
me.
hand
It's
in
like
hand.
hand in hand.
Yeah,
And as the Leo, the courageous creator, and it moves into that higher state, it is creation. It's
it is.
and this is all formed in the ring of union. And
Yeah,
it's union of self.
yeah. We've been, I think our culture is really big on creating like this sacred union of partnership, which is another union. Um, and we can't get there if we don't have the inner space of union, like a home for it in our own bodies. Um, the other thing that I loved about virtue is he talked about the ancient Chinese symbolism. It had a lot to do with power and army,
Mm.
and we have a negative, well, I'll speak for myself. I have a negative thing about war and power and militia and all of that. So how do we feel that power of virtue? Can we put those two concepts together, that we are a force for good, that we are a force for empathy, for love, for radiating virtue. And the I was walking around the house this morning. My housemate was like, "What?" I said, "Spring of virtues. Be a spring of virtues." And that was one of the phrases I took from the audio transmission. And it was
Mm.
not, it wasn't, it didn't have a home yet. And now I'm beginning to sit with it. And it's, oh, to be a spring of virtues. Virtues don't push their way. It's the symbolism in the elements is it's water under the earth. So it's not
Mm.
a geyser.
No, but it springs.
Yeah, it waits till it makes its way and then it just forms springs, which is where people want to live near, where people want to gather near, where communities spring up. So there's this being that wellspring of virtue.
I feel that.
Yes, please.
And can we be honest? What we truly desire in this life is communion and beauty and grace and love and empathy, and virtue is a beautiful one.
And it all begins right
Mm-hmm.
here, right here. Um, so this is another example, though, where we can be more of who we truly are when we're in communion, when we're in a sacred partnership, a sacred relationship, a sacred friendship, a sacred any kind of um, space where we are able to open to our fullness and our gifts, right? I do think we need each other.
Yeah.
Um, so,
Well, thank you for the reminder, the angel wings
yeah.
today.
This is also part of the invocation of solace, and I'll never
Mm.
forget that because it's such a great key to drop in and feel, oh, everything is whole and complete right here. So,
Much love.
thank you.
Thank you.
Time.
Till next time.